Turn right onto the I-15 South ramp, then merge onto I-15 South.
I got a little ride today. I gotta head to one of my clients' offices. So I got some time to chit-chat a little bit and talk about some stuff that's been on my mind. So I don't know. Maybe, you know what? It probably is. But I'm 39 years old, and
continue on I-15 South for 21 miles.
I'll be 40 years old in January of 2022. And I don't know about y'all, but like for me, it feels like every time like these milestones hit, when you turn 20 or 21, right? 30, 40, right? It's like I go through like a very intense internal spiritual awakening every time. Now, I remember when I turned 30, I was about 6 months into moving to LA, because I moved to LA at 29. And I will say that my 30s was by far my biggest growth spiritually. And although there was just craziness in the mix of that, it was by far, so far my 30s have been my best fucking years of my life, dude. Just so much growth within myself, outside of just accomplishing a lot of things that I wanted to accomplish. So, but you know, to me, that's all great, the exterior, but that stuff that happens within, to me, is by far one of the most powerful things when we talk about growth, right? Because you can't change anything unless you start within. That's just a fact on everything. If you are not okay, you're not going to be fully successful. You can be successful, but how can I say this? Some people are so successful and are so empty inside. So that's my point. It's like, it don't matter what you achieve. If you are not right internally, you're never going to be fully rich, if that makes sense. So, when I was 20, here's the crazy part. When I was 20, my 20 was probably, when I turned 20 years old, that was probably one of the most darkest moments of my entire life. Okay? Darkest moments of my entire life. My 21st birthday, I remember I had a party after I came back from going on vacation to LA by myself for a week. And I came back, decided to throw a party to be with my family, and my brother and my two cousins ended up getting stabbed outside in front of my house, off some stupid shit. But anyways, it was already a dark ass fucking time in my life, and then that happened. So I was in a really, really bad place mentally. I had just gotten out of this 4-year abusive relationship. It was a physical and mentally abusive relationship. And getting out of that situation, I was very lost. I felt like I destroyed my life. I felt like the decisions I made those past 4 years just completely destroyed my life, and they were just the most stupidest decisions. And why did I do this? And why didn't I listen to my dad? All these things, right? Because at that age, you beat yourself up so much. At least I did. And you feel like the world is over, and that like you're never gonna come back from this. That's what it feels like. That's what it felt like to me at that time. But I remember wanting everything that I have right now at 39 years old. I remember at that age, that's what I wanted my future to look like. But at that time, I felt like, well, that's not going to be in my cards, you know. I was dealing with health issues that was basically, you know, doctors can be assholes at times, and you know, like when you have certain situations, instead of getting to the root of the issue, like, they just give you, like, the worst case, like, well, probably gonna be able to have kids, like, shit like that. So, I was dealing with the health issues. I was dealing with, all the bad decisions I made, off my, childhood trauma that I didn't know how to process and filter it properly. So I raged. I just went crazy. And I really felt like I would never find, like, a person that was going to love me. I never thought, like, I would have all these children. Like, it's over everything I wanted, but I felt like, you know what? You fucked up, and now you're not going to get shit. Like, that's how I really, really felt. And I went through I was going through a process, because that's the thing. I feel like sometimes we're going through these awakenings, but sometimes we're not aware of the awakenings we're going through. So at that time in my 20s, I was going through a certain awakening. I just didn't know how to nurture it. I was working 9 to 5, doing what I started doing, like, once I got out of college, which was medical billing, and that was simply just so I can focus on my career. My biggest thing was my acting career, right? And writing and all this stuff like that. So while I was in New York, I felt like I wasn't, I didn't realize this afterwards, but I was giving so much more to something else as opposed to what I knew I was great at, right? Follow me here. Sometimes we say, oh, I believe in myself, right? But how much we believe in ourselves and how much our actions match up to that, a lot of times don't match. A lot of times you believe in yourself, but you take all these steps with a little bit with fear. You're just like, I don't want to fuck up. I don't want to go all the way. So we always think, like, I don't want to put my eggs all in one basket, right? And I feel like for me, when I push myself and throw my back against that fucking wall and say, I'm gonna go 100% on this. One thing about my life is I've always fucking been successful when I do that. In anything, good or bad. When I go 100%, I get 100% results. So in my 20s, I didn't know how to nurture myself within, if that makes sense. I was nurturing the exterior a lot. Because you know what happens? You become in desperation mode, right? Because you're so tired of living this life, and you want, the things you dream of. I want to be this, I want to be that. And then when you start getting older, right, you start feeling like, shit, this might be too late for me. It might be too late for me. And then that doubt comes in, and because of that doubt, you start to find safety nets that are gonna, like, make you feel safe, right? So that you don't feel like a total fuck up. So I was working these jobs and giving that 100% and on my career 100%, right? So I always said, no, if I move to California, that's when I'm gonna make it, blah, 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 right? But what I didn't realize till after I moved was that I would have been successful anywhere, had I went 100%. So I had used that job, right? But it was always a conflict, because then when I would get booked for films or booked for projects, I had to worry about, oh my God, I gotta ask for days off. I don't have vacation time, blah, 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 right? That whole slavery fucking bullshit. So you in the plantation, like, praying fucking massa gives you a motherfucking free day, right? Or then you gotta lie about mad shit just so you can fucking take off, right? Make up the worst fucking case scenarios, right? That's how far we fucking go, right? So that's what I would do. And I was successful at little things there, here and there, but what I really wanted, I wasn't getting, because I wasn't going 100%. So, one thing I had always wanted was to move to California. That was something I've always wanted as a child, right? And I'm so freaking grateful that every time that I wanted to move at first when I was in my 20s, I am so glad I didn't move. Oh man. Oh man, I'm so glad I didn't move. Let me tell you guys, okay? I just told you that at 20, I was at my lowest fucking point in my life. At 21, I deal with my 21st birthday being what I told y'all. At 22, my cousin that I grew up with since I was a child dies in a motorcycle accident. When I tell you I was a fucking mess, maybe to the world, she's cool, she's strong. Honey, I was down, okay? And I felt like I was suffocating. I'm telling you, I felt like the world was over. Like there was no coming back from where I was at. That's what it felt like. It felt like there was just every time something even bigger just stabbing me and just throwing me back off, right? Every time I try to get up. And had I moved to California at that time, I probably would have been on drugs. I'm not even gonna fucking lie to you, okay? I probably would have been on drugs. My vice has always been smoking weed. Everybody knows that. I've never done any other type of drug. Sold it, but I've never done it. But because of how bad I was, and now being in LA and then seeing the scene, you know, I would have definitely fell, and I would have felt so fucking hard that I probably at that point would have never came back from. Would have never fucking came back from. I'm telling you guys. So, like I said, I was always on the spiritual journey of finding myself. I just always was looking on the outside as opposed to the inside. I thought that these exterior dreams and wishes was gonna be what was gonna fill me up inside. You know, I didn't understand how to heal from things. I just felt that if you move on from it or you get rid of the people, then you're good, right? But we can walk away from situations. That does not mean we healed from them at all. All we did was walk away. That's the first step. The first step is walking away. The second step is knowing what the fuck did that experience do to you. Okay, because you don't know what a full experience does to you until you start moving on with life and you start to get triggers that come in, and then you react certain ways and you handle situations certain ways, and you're not knowing that it's coming from the shit you didn't heal from. You just left the situation. So that's where I was in my 20s, where I felt like, oh, well, I did, you know, I left this, I survived that, so I'm good. Honey, I wasn't good. I was fucking broken. Completely fucking broken. And I had decided, one thing before I turned 30 was experience living in California. And that's what something that was like, I have to do that. You know, it was on my list of things to do for myself. I have to do that. So, thank God, my husband, I had met him actually when I was 23. Anyways, so he was a great part in my 20s of helping me find my way through my darkness. I will say that, and I'm so grateful for that. And when I had decided I wanted to move to LA, you know, he was somebody who never thought about living there, but he did it, you know. He saw what I saw as far as in the opportunities and things like that. Now, this is all gonna make sense. I'm not just rambling, I promise. Where was I? Oh yes, so when I decided to move, I was 29. It was May 15th, we moved out here of 2011. And one thing I said to myself when we moved out here was that I was not going to work for anybody, and if I did anything to make money, that was going to be the second thing. You know what I mean? My first thing that I was going to give 100% to was going to be my career. And that was where, you know, I was going to find a way basically to make the income I needed to survive, but be free to do 100% in my career. So since I had all the experience in medical billing for 10 years, what I decided to do was open up my own medical billing company when I came to California, and that was going to be my, you know, way of making money, and then I can go 100% in my career, right? Now, let me tell you something about believing in yourself and about manifesting what you want. My mindset was already set before I moved that was going to be how I was going to do it, right? sorry guys, I got cut off. Did I have a set plan? No, but I knew what I wanted. I knew what I wanted, and I knew that I was gonna go 1,000% on that shit. I wanted the freedom, so I can do 100% of my career. That was it. I'm gonna make the money to survive, and I'm gonna go 100%. And nobody can tell me nothing. I could be on set whenever I want. I don't have to worry about I don't have to worry about nothing. I moved here with no job. Me and my husband didn't have no jobs. We had some money we saved up, and I'm not gonna lie to you, within like the first 3 months, that savings, whatever the hell we had, was gone. But anyways, we created a world and made it our reality, even though at the time it did not exist. Every time we went for job interviews, we would tell them like, nope, we have our own business, we have clients, and if you like, you can be one of our clients, but we do not work in office. We are we're an outsourced company. We didn't have nobody. We didn't have nobody, but we kept saying that. Lo and behold, the universe conspires with you, right? And that's what ended up happening. We were literally sitting at home doing billing. He was doing his career with the music stuff, and I was doing my stuff with the acting stuff. And we were literally doing great with that, okay? We created that reality. I went 100% in my career, and I got 100% results, okay? And the only reason I shifted is because I started growing spiritually more and more and more as I was here. Because what happened to me when I came here was that I didn't have no family. It was just me and my husband. That was it. I'm very, very close to my dad. And to not be able to, my nephew was just born. That was another thing.
In 2 miles, take the interchange on the left.
See them like whenever I wanted to. Oh my goodness. Killed me inside. So that was when I decided I'm just going to focus on myself. That's it. Like, I've done the partying. I've done all that shit that people sometimes come out here and get caught up in. I had already did all that. I was partying since I was 16 years old. Probably 15. I was in clubs. I was in the Tunnel nightclub. That's how old I am. I was in, there was another one. I forgot what it was called, but it was in a church, that shit. Okay? Limelight, I think that's what it was called. Listen, I partied my fucking ass off, okay? I shouldn't have been in these places at certain ages, but it is what it is. All through my 20s, that's all I did, okay? I spun out of control, and that's all I did. So when I came here, I was in a very different mindset than a lot of people. And I also came with a husband, it was so different for me, we both came here with a plan. And the one thing that...
In half a mile, use the left lanes to take the I-15 south exit toward Los Angeles, San Diego.
We always said that, failure was not an option. So we were going to make this shit work one way or another, okay? Because moving back to New York was not going to be an option. Where we go to next, that's not New York, it's to another place.
Use the left lanes to take the I-15 south exit.
Where was I? Okay, so we did that. We went 100%.
Continue for 28 miles.
We were successful, right? But one thing that I believe made us successful is that every time we wanted to accomplish something, we never went exterior. We went inside. I'm talking about deep inside. Because again, there was no family to run to. There was none of that. When you had issues, you had to deal with that shit. You had to deal with that shit. And then as you turn 30, I was going through the thing of realizing there was so much undoing I had to do, in order to really be the mother, the wife that I wanted to be. Because at that time, I was like, oh, girl, no. This is not going to work. You're going to destroy your children. You're going to destroy your marriage if you don't wake the fuck up and see where are your triggers, where are your issues, and what is this coming from? And that's when I started this deep, deep shadow work. It was in my 30s. And that deep shadow work was about finding my healing within, right? Because what I realized was as I started growing, and I'll be honest, food changed my whole mental state and my spiritual journey as well. It just took it to a whole nother level. But what I know that I kept doing was I started meditating a lot, and I would always meditate and I asked for truth. I would always ask for whatever is subconsciously in my brain that I cannot, be aware of just yet. I want you to bring it to the front. I want you to bring it to the front, as ugly as it is. Show me my darkest. Show me everything, because I can't fix anything I don't know. So I need to know. You know what I mean? So let's tap in there. Let's fucking go to the dark side. I swear to you, I would meditate on this. I would seek truth in everything. I would be like, reveal to me truth. Reveal to me reveal to me everything I cannot see. You know? And shit. Whoa, that's when my awakening, even on a level of like history and so many things, went ham, like woo. And then I became, one of those crazy conspiracy people and all that shit like that, right? And people think you're fucking nuts. And then you realize, honey, that being crazy is actually the real normal nowadays. Because we actually think. Oh my God, we actually think. We actually ask questions. We don't move most of the time with emotions. Don't get me wrong, some people do. I'm just saying, when you're really, 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 really tapped in, you're not moving off emotions like that, okay? You're being more of an observer to things. And just in general, you know what I mean? Like, people always want to consider something a conspiracy or whatever if it doesn't feel right in their soul, because they haven't tapped into the dark side. That's the way I feel. Because the rabbit hole is deep, and when you tap in, honey, woo, it keeps going. But here's the thing: those things that I started learning and educating myself that I never fucking learned in school, okay, that shit changed me spiritually inside. That's when I started to really, really know the power of manifestation, the power of self, the power of knowledge of self, the power of your mind and what you can do with it, and how you can destroy yourself with just that, with just your mind. You can make yourself sick. And I mean, when I was going through my darkest time, you know what wasn't right? It was my mind. My mind. Aside from the fact I was eating horrible, which contributed to being in a lost place, right? And being all foggy and shit, and not being able to ask questions, to process information properly, to just not take anything for what somebody says despite their degree or profession, right? Because what you start to realize is that there's another world that was built to keep us in a certain space mentally. And when you start dissecting them worlds and you start breaking it down, you realize they're all fucking connected. And those are the things that for so long of why you felt the way you felt, why you felt there was no way out. That's how they want you to feel. Okay, the hood is a project. Literally, the projects are a project. Like, the whole shit is designed to keep you in a certain space mentally. We are never taught in school about self, about knowledge of self, about how you have to heal from the inside out, okay? We're not taught that. Yeah, they'd be like, oh, self-love, but they don't even tell you how to get to fucking self-love. They don't tell you that. They don't tell you, we don't even learn the science to sexual practices and why we're doing them. We're just fucking, that's all. Like, when you're having babies, when you're doing all this, there's supposed to be a conscious fucking process in that, right? That's the way I feel. Stay with me. I'm almost done. So, all right, guys, I'm sorry. I get the alerts from my son's classes every time, and it keeps cutting me off. Anyways, okay. Let me wrap this up real quick for you guys, okay? So, now that I'm going into my 40s, right? I'm super fucking excited. I'm so excited. I'm just so excited for the unknown, and that's the thing that we have to embrace. We have to embrace the unknown. We have to embrace the unknown. And you have to be present at every moment. And that is the one thing that I learned in my 30s is about being present. We are so consumed with the past of what we've been through and our anticipation for the future that we miss the fucking present. We miss the present. I was never present in my 20s. I was not. I was so consumed in what I've been through, right? The mistakes I made, beating myself up over it, and then the hope for the future that I wanted, right? But how the fuck was I gonna get there if I mentally wasn't even there yet? Yeah, I believed in myself, but did I really believe in myself? No. Look, we are our own worst enemies, and we lie to ourselves so fucking much more than anybody. We always say, I believe in myself, I can do that, and then it's like, okay, then fucking do it. And then you got an excuse of why you can only do but this much, why you can only do but that much, right? So 20s, dark side, right? Completely just sleep. Like I was fucking asleep. I swear when I woke up in my 30s, it literally felt like I woke up from this deep fucking dream, and I was like, where the fuck have I been at? What just happened here? And in my 30s, I go through this intense spiritual fucking awakening within myself. I heal of things I didn't even know I had to heal from. And then I accomplished what I wanted in my 30s. What did I want in my 30s when I was in my 20s before I moved to Cali? I wanted to have children, and I wanted to have children and have my career so that I can be with them and I can witness every milestone and not have to worry about a babysitter or I'm a daycare and stuff like that, right? That I would be able to be there for everything. That's what I wanted. And I believe in that 100%. And that's what I worked towards, right? That's why I had my own business, right? And then I was doing my career. So I was able to do whatever I wanted. And that's what I did. And the one thing that my children have taught me the most about is the present moment. Because there's so much happening right now for me. Like I said, I'll be 40 in 6 months. My son is turning 5 years old the end of this month. And the business that I had opened 10 years ago, the medical billing, I'm actually in the process of closing it. I'm closing that chapter, right? I did medical billing for 20 years, and I had my own business for 10 years. And it was great. It was amazing. It flourished in ways I can only even, I don't even imagine, like, I didn't even know it was going to go the way it did, but it did, right? It's like, I did know, but you get what I'm saying. So, now that I'm shifting into a new frequency, right, in my life, I'm elevating to a higher frequency. That's how I feel. But the beautiful part about this is that, unlike in my 20s, right? In my 20s, it was like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, right? But there's nothing like doing it. Saying it and then doing and seeing that what you want to do, you did it. And that's what I showed myself in my 30s. I showed myself that when I jump out the fucking window, I'm always going to fly. I'm always going to fucking fly. So I'm shifting gears now in my life, because now, what I realized was that business, as beautiful as it was for the time that we had it, now it started just taking up too much time away from my children, right? Remember, the goal was always to be around my children. So we have to know when things are expiring and not try to hold on to them. So this company is great, but now with my children getting older, the business is going great, but it doesn't match where my frequency is at, because then I would have to lower my frequency to still have that business. And why do I say lower my frequency? Because taking my time away from my children is lowering my frequency, because what raises my frequency is being present with my children. So, jumping out the window again, right? And I'm gonna fly so fucking high. But I've set up so much for myself in my 30s, right? Why? Because I was in the right state of mind. So now when I make this leap, I can do it fearless. I can do it fearless because I've proven to myself, not to anybody else, I've proven to myself what I can do when I literally focus on my internal healing in every possible way. I become successful with everything I touch, with everything. Career, anything I want to do, I can do that. That's how I feel, okay? I feel that fucking powerful. But that didn't happen overnight. That took work, and I'm still doing the work, right? I'm still doing the work. And I love when I have these breakthroughs, even if they're the darkest breakthroughs. I love it because I'm starting to really just be full inside within myself, and I didn't have that for a very, very long time. I have an incredible husband, and what I love is that he literally he embraces so much how much self-love is important, because he has his own journeys and his awakenings, right? And every time that he did that self-work, that deep work within, right, when we come together, we are so powerful because we're not depending on each other for that happiness or that. No, we're just living, right? We're just fucking living because we're both full inside from within ourselves, from knowing ourselves, right? From knowing where we want to go, right? We keep each other accountable, right? When a person says they want to become a certain, like a certain type of person, we hold each other accountable when the person is backtracking and doing the things that's not leading them there. It's about like, all right, hold up. You say, you want to be this, but, in these situations you handle this, and that, and that's not, matching up. Those are the kind of people you want in your life as friends and as partners. So I say all that to say that your investment in yourself and in your mind is going to be the best thing you ever do for yourself, for future children of yours, for all of that. Okay? Because if not, all you're going to do is try to make your child or other people be like you, right? And if they don't give you that, then you don't know how to handle it, right? Stop seeking things from the outside. Everything you are looking for. If you want to be successful in your career, you want to be successful in a sport, whatever it is, it comes with your mind. It comes with literally tapping into your dark side so you can heal and you can be able to filter and see things for what they are, and not put a blanket over it because it you know what I mean? Like it's tapping into the dark side you don't want to deal with inside. You gotta fucking deal with the dark side. There's no way around it. Yeah, you can see everybody meditating and doing their fucking sage and all this shit, right? But none of that shit means shit if you ain't really doing the work inside. It don't mean nothing. You're just doing that shit for show. Tap into your dark side. Tap into your dark side so you can get the light. Don't be afraid to jump out the window. If you really believe in yourself and anything you are doing, there's no reason for you not to go 100%. No reason. Okay. I hope that that reaches somebody, and I hope y'all have a dope day. But that's all for